Hello. I've had a thwarted week. So I was supposed to be doing a long walk in the wood, but that got cancelled. So I thought I'd come and go and explore a nature reserve that I nearly got to earlier in lockdown when I did the Weaven Farm Waters video. Now I'm assuming that I'm going to be wading through even more water today, so because it's been wetter since then, so I don't know, we'll find out, won't we, when I get there. I mean, we got virtually to it once we crossed the water and we're looking at the rushing water of the Weaven. There, we're going into that wood there. Some kind of bird of prey, I think. Could be because there's a buzzard there, look. Oh, there. There are two. Is that a buzzard? Was that? Yeah. Was that a kestrel? What have we got here? Yeah, two buzzards. That's because this area of land, sort of from a few miles past below Bath to a few miles above Bath, is known as a Wraxall. It's an ancient medieval word meaning area of land frequented by buzzards and other birds of prey. And if any of you are familiar with Peter Gabriel, he did a song called Salisbury Hill, and he sings about eagle flew out of the night. Well, it wasn't. It was a buzzard. But poetically, it's going to be an eagle, isn't it? Now maybe this is almost the narrowest path in the world. No, I know it won't be in the world, but this is certainly far more narrow than it was when I came through here in the spring. Because all the side bushes have grown out. Now that really is some old ivy and it needs sorting out, but if you come down here with a curved I was going to say sword, but it's not a pruning saw, and you meet people, you look a little bit dodgy. I thought I'd come and say hello to this apple tree. Look how tall it is. Probably about, well, it's over 100 years old, definitely. Looking at that, I'd say maybe 120. As you might be able to hear in a minute, I'm leaning against this lovely apple tree while I wait for some people to disappear. Women's voices seem to carry further, don't they, because they're a higher pitch. Whereas men sort of rumble, so we can get away with talking quietly because we rumble like the wind. If I'm not mistaken, this is the bark of a willow. I can sort of see the leaves up there, but they're kind of mixed in with the apples, so it's very hard to show you. But yeah, that's a willow. They're sort of rounded. So is that, or is that from the apple? So hard to tell. But I think it's a goat willow anyway. Well, so far less wet, surprisingly. I'm amazed. Maybe there will be some puddles along here. I mean, yeah, I'm amazed. It's so dry. It wasn't. Well, maybe it won't be in a minute, so this story will get interrupted. Oh, look at those willows. Lovely. Well, anyone familiar with Wessex will be familiar with the Wyvern. And this is the Wyvern Valley, and this water that you can hear, that's the Wyvern. Now I'm guessing, just because of how these things work, that this Wyvern is a derivative of Wyvern. The Wyvern is a dragon-tailed griffin, isn't it? I can't remember. Something like that. But it's on the crest, on the flag of Wessex. Oh, lovely. Yeah, that was drier than it was. Well, I am surprised. Oh yeah, and this isn't flowing as fast. Now it comes from this way. It's all murky. But you can see the bottom, so it's not too bad, is it? So yeah, you'll find it's a black wyvern on a yellow flag. And I've got a feeling there's some link to the Saxons, is there? I don't know. I'll have to look that up another time. Okay, we're going to go in here. Yeah, some nice trees. A bit of a view. Another path to explore. Actually, I think that goes to a village, a town, small town, large village. Not quite sure how they're defined. Oh, this is nice. I haven't been in here for a long time. Now, much as I like going off-piste, as they say, in circles I don't have anything to do with, much as I love that, in a place like this, in a nature reserve, you have to stick to the paths. Unless you know what's going on and you're involved. I know that from places I work in. You know, when we have open days, you have to stick to the paths because we've got stuff planted. It's a nice old oak. Little stubby one. That's how some of them are. And today's a perfect example of the green and grey. Yeah, people see California as being blue skies and sunshine. Britain is green and grey. That's it. That's what it is. And I love it. Yeah, it's a fine rounded trunk. Look at the girth on that. It's funny, isn't it, when you don't come to somewhere for quite a while, how much it's changed and how much you don't recognise it. It's not always changed in a good way. Certainly with, you know, if it gets frequent visitors who don't care, for example, that's never a good thing. But anyway, I haven't come here to moan. This is a deer path going through here. We'll go along it a bit because I love doing that. Deer paths are one of the tracks I follow. Don't know whether you should necessarily, but I don't see that it's a problem because they are used to man. In fact, you can be eye to eye with a deer and they'll just stare at you. And there's a bit of a serpentine ash tree. There's an entrance about to open up. Mr. Slug is helping that out. Another old oak. It's going to be a through entrance. Back and a front entrance in this one. I love field maples. The way the leaves go yellow, that really adds to the colours because there aren't many that go that yellow in the wild. Now this track I remember, but I'm not going that way. I don't want to go that way. Maybe we'll come back through it. There's a few things I want to do in here. There's a nice little sunken road almost, isn't it? Yeah, there's a few things I want to do in here, and they are, I want to go to the orchid meadow, even though there won't be any, and I want to find the two springs, because there are two springs in here. Now the chances are I won't find any of those, because partly what I'm doing is just going where I feel like. which is great because it gives me another excuse to come back here. Look at the burrs on that oak. Those growths you see, they're called burrs. And are highly prized bits of wood to work. They're beautiful, really beautiful inside and polished up. I mean, the kind of, that sort of beauty. Well, I made it. I'm so glad I came here today. So peaceful. And I feel like I'm the only person. Starting to sweat, but it needs to be a whole lot cooler for me to not sweat. Might be my womanopause, eh? Oh, we have one. Well, this isn't on the map I looked at. That one wasn't. I think this one was, so we need to go this way. But they were harebells, those blue flowers. Some of you probably know this. If you know the stuff, just ignore it. I'm not saying it for your benefit. If you already know it, that's fine. So, for your information, I missed the spring, but what I'm planning to do, one of them is harder to find than the other. Now this is kind of what I love. I love this feel. If you haven't been in a hazel coppice, a hazel and ash coppice, the feel of it is really interesting. Some spurge or euphorbia. The sap of euphorbia is actually poisonous. I don't know, I can't remember what the technical term is, but it's easy if you just remember sap, poisonous of euphorbia. That'll save you any trouble, won't it? You won't go drinking it. I mean, you know, there are lots of things that could be harmful, but I just deal with it and don't worry about it. I think that's the method. It's the method I've always used. Where, you know stuff is poisonous and you may get a touch of it on you. You may have a bit on your hands, then you go and wipe your lips or something, just forgetting. But it's best not to worry about it. Rinse your mouth out with some water. And don't worry, because the body the body can cope with a certain amount of poison. Yeah, mild poison we're talking. But it has to, because you have to deal with stuff. You know, you have to fight with all kinds of stuff all day, every day. You know, the recommendation for gardeners, did you know, is not to wash your hands, because you become healthier. And, well, I don't get ill. So, and I've been outside. I'm sorry for you, those of you who can't. But actually, I say that, but here is where I help. Just you looking at this now helps your body, because it goes into your brain. Your brain goes, oh, nature, pheromones, feel good, blah, 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 all that, and goes in, and your body regulates for it. So actually, and they have proved this, I'm not just talking from behind myself and lower down. They have actually proved it, and they've proved that trees give off pheromones, and that's why going for a walk in nature may tire you out, but you feel good. And also, that is why they plant plants in hospitals. You know, even if it's just a courtyard, it's a deliberate thing. Not that they want you to get better that quickly, but they have to be seen to be doing something. Sorry if that sounds cynical, but it is my experience, because too many people have things that the doctors and hospitals don't know what they are. Well, that's suspicious to me. Surely they should be doing their job. As plants people, we can work out what plants are. Sure, things may come from other places, but we can work them out. But, you know. So just seeing this can help heal you. And that's a fantastic thing, isn't it? They have proved that the boffins, I don't know who they are, but I know who they are. They are cornus, commonly known as dogwood. Can you hear water? Sure I can. Okay, I found a magical bit. This is it. Wow. You know what I've found? I've found a spring. And it's not one on the map. Look at that. Oh, this feels lovely. Let's take you to the source then. There it is. Okay, it's a pipe. But either way, wow, look at it. Look down there. That's gorgeous, and the moss on the trunks. Did you notice how alert my sense of hearing was? I was over there when I heard it. This has been sculpted. What have we had happen here? Maybe we had a drainage trouble. Yeah? Oh wait. Can you hear that? That's up in there, isn't it? Is that another one? Ah! Wow, my foot sunk in there. Ah, there we go. That's proper spring. Doesn't look that great though, getting to it or anything. Right, now I must cross this a different way. Ow. Wow, that was soft. What says that? Hey, done it. Look, you can see where my foot went in. Oops. Oh dear. Can you see the signs of wetland? That plant there, that's sedge. Hence, names on the Somerset levels have things like Sedgemoor. Yeah, that's because it was a wetland. Looks like they're cutting some ash out soon. So our timing to come here was good. Because it's got the dreaded I'm trying not to see it these days. Very musky smell. And musk is a deer thing, isn't it? That's what musk comes from. I mean, I don't know in this case if it is, but I don't know. Can anyone see anything that might give off a musky smell? It's not fox, because fox smells like skunk. No, you know, as in cannabis skunk. It does. Horrible stuff, but there you go. That's what happens when you make stuff illegal. Yeah, so off we go round the bend. The bird you can hear, that's a blackbird. They have a very scolding tweet. as well as a nice one. Hello. What's this say? Yes. Little dragon. Dragon shapes in the trees. A nice big beech tree there. Look at all that under its canopy. Amazing. But you see just how much space the beech tree needs. There you go. Another tree should not be planted in that. There's an oak there, you see, that's been planted in it. So I'm under the edge of its canopy now. Am I? Yeah. So its canopy would be coming out here. So then you have to bear in mind another tree's canopy. So if you were going to plant another beech, it would be where that oak tree is there. And that's quite a few meters away. But that's what you would do, because otherwise they would grow into each other like these two have done. Now it turns out that I'm not where I thought I was on the map, and it doesn't fit my recognition of the place that I'm in related to the map either. I've had to come back on myself because this doesn't meet a path going that way, and it can't be this one because we went to the right, whereas the one that it's making my head think it could be went to the right. You've got no idea where that was. That's really bizarre. And there's a house at the end of this track, and I can't even find the house on the map. And when I do find some buildings or a house on the map, oh yeah, that musky smell again. When I do find it on the map, do you know what? I look at the map and it doesn't fit. It doesn't relate to the paths that we're on. So my plan didn't go to plan. So we're having to wander back this way. I mean, even though I did say, you know, that crossroads didn't fit the map, or maybe I didn't say that, but it doesn't. And here's the spring. Looks like there was a landslide, doesn't it? Or is that because they dug it about? Probably because of that, isn't it? Do you find that when the place you're in doesn't fit the map you've looked at and worked out? Yeah, look at all this. This is all sedge all the way along. That's how wet it is. Here's a stump of a wych elm. You can tell it's a bit like hazel because it has the points, but it's rough, really rough. You know, if you were to touch it, you would know the difference between rough and a hazel leaf. Here's a hazel leaf, not rough at all. And common spotted orchid, and some seeds, I no doubt. Have they gone? I think that's apple mint, isn't it? I'm not sure. It's very mint-like. Yeah, when you crush the leaves. I really don't know where I am. Because if this was the path that I thought the other one was, then this is going to go back round and come down by the house and along. But that's not on the map either. I don't get it. Maybe I should invest in a newer map, hey? I think it's peppermint, isn't it? It certainly had that thing to it. I'm not very good on mints because I'm not a fan. The only time I've had a mint meal, mint in something that I liked was, you know, I like a bit of peppermint, a touch sometimes in a herbal tea, but I had mint in a sort of Middle Eastern dish once. It was really nice, but I can't remember what was in there. I did some modelling in these woods a while back, but I don't think I'm going to show the pictures. It didn't involve clothes, let's put it that way. Nettle seeds, or nettle flowers turning into seeds. I work on the principle of don't get ill, don't have anything wrong. That's how I work. It's good because it's kind of, you know, it kind of hypnotizes your brain to not be ill and for you to not have anything wrong with you. Try it. It is an attitude of mind. Well, I spared you the going through on the way, so we'll do it on the way back. There we go. Here's where we turned off, because I thought that was the right, you know, turning off on the right, but that track should be the same as that track, but it's not, is it? So I really don't know where I am in relation to what the map I looked at. So there you go. Yeah, I'm sure this is mint. It might be something else that because I don't know it. I have to be honest that I prefer this kind of a trail through a wood. But that's just a personal preference. Do you know what? I think that was the path, wasn't it? And that one goes up there. It is, isn't it? I don't know, is it? Well, next time we're coming here, we're going to go down that way. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ta-da.